Alrighty guys, welcome back. Today we've got another great video for you all. Today we've got Pure Imagination. Now, how did you end up picking today's song?
Well, as you know, the second half of the week is turned into like fantasy week. Okay? And so I wasn't finding anything with fantasy in the title, okay, that I really liked.
Okay.
So what ended up happening was I looked up the word fantasy and different meanings of fantasy, and I saw imagination.
Okay.
And I went, okay, cool, imagination. So when I put imagination in, the first thing that popped up was Gene Wilder, who played Willy Wonka in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory back in 1971, and this song called Pure Imagination. Okay, so I was looking at it and I'm going, yeah, it kind of looks like it's from 1971.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I mean, it wasn't a whole lot of high budget, you know, type of things going on. So I started looking at the song Pure Imagination and found out that there's probably like 40 different people who covered it. So as I was going down the list, you know, I went, Josh Groban, that could be kind of cool, because he actually sang it with the Muppets on the Muppet Show.
Okay.
So if you're talking about pure imagination, you know, here you are with these puppets, right, singing this thing. But
he got copyrighted.
So I said, well, let's try this other one of Josh Groban. So I looked at that because I just like Josh Groban, and it had a really, really cool, you know, like 2015 technology behind it versus 1971.
Right.
Okay, and it got copyrighted. And so every time I tried to do Josh Groban, I kind of kept shooting my toes off one at a time. You know, instead of just shooting myself in the foot once. You know, I was glad for.
So you bit the bullet.
So
and
I bit
we'll
the
go
bullet.
with Gene Wilder.
I bit the bullet. We're gonna go with Gene Wilder. So you know,
Which says over 5 million views, so it can't be that bad.
It can't be. So you know, I've never seen it. I'm just looking at the picture here, and just looking at the picture, it looks like 1971.
Well, I mean, have you seen the movie?
You know, I was asking you beforehand, before doing this, I've seen Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Okay, that's the new one.
Because, I mean, that's the one... Is it? All I know about it is this kid kept asking his grandparents for money so he could buy a candy bar.
That's the new one.
So he could get
a golden ticket. Yeah.
That's the only thing that I know about it. And some fat kid who was a brat in this, or a girl or somebody who reminded me of the fat kid in Harry Potter, Dudley. Okay, I mean that kind of attitude, who just kept wanting to shove junk in her mouth, and she was the brat, and, you know, give me this, and you know, all that kind of stuff.
Well, there was the brat who said give me this, there was the gum chewer, there was the fat kid who all he wanted to do was eat and eat and eat.
Well, I think
there was a TV kid.
Okay, so I've seen whichever one that was.
That's the updated version.
Okay. So
well, actually, I think all the characters are relatively the same, but of course 1971 you can't have a TV video game kid, you can't have, you know, stuff like that.
Okay.
So you know, so they had to adapt it for, you know, maybe like 2006, 2007, whatever it was, 30 some years, 40 some years later, whatever, whenever it came out. But most of the characters were relatively the same. The movies themselves were relatively the same in concept.
That I have never seen this before then. Okay. I know who Gene Wilder is. I've seen him in other movies. Okay. I know he was I would have described him in this movie as a capital P. But because that's the attitude and everything that he had and that he played in here as the eccentric Willy Wonka, and you know, but like I say, I was going for the imagination part of things. So, we'll see what the song sounds like. I'm at it. So it's something different for me. I never go to movie stuff.
Okay.
So we'll see what happens.
Alrighty, guys. Let's get started.
Hold your breath. Make a wish. Count to 3. Come with me, and you'll be in a world of pure imagination. Take a look, and you'll see into your imagination. We'll begin with a spin, traveling in the world of my creation. What we'll see will defy explanation.
Yeah, I'd be scared too if you were smacking that thing around.
If you want to view paradise, simply look around and view it. Anything you want to do it. Want to change the world. There's nothing to it.
Hurry up, Violet.
This way, Grandpa.
There's no life I know to compare with pure imagination. Living there, you'll be free if you truly wish to be.
Sugar and sugar and sugar and more sugar. I couldn't do it.
I could handle the whipped cream.
We always used to put the whipped cream in the cup and eat it with a spoon.
If you want to view paradise, simply look around and view it. Anything you want to do it. Want to change the world. There's nothing to it. There is no life I know to compare with your imagination. Living there, you'll be free if you truly wish to be.
Yep, eat the cup. Yep. That's it. For as simple as it was, and I know how, of course, the story goes with Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, or Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, or at least in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Willy Wonka, he was getting old, and so the whole point of the golden tickets and everything like that was, who can I trust to take over the factory and everything like that, because I'm getting old. But of course, you have to have your imagination in the right place. You have to be able to compare to the mind of Willy Wonka, who
Right.
created all of this stuff.
Right.
So knowing how that goes, just I can see deeper into just the simple lyrics that were there, and I don't know, it just gives you something to think about.
Yeah, I agree with you. It does give you something to think about. As I was listening to it, and I was saying at the beginning, in regard to these are 1971 things versus 2015.
Yeah. Whatever.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Effects and whatnot. But and I've said this often before, and a lot of us my age kind of look at it like this. As far as, and you've heard me say it 1,000 times probably, in regard to, I wish I was back in this particular decade.
Yeah.
For me, when I was that age. Because in my mind, even though the same stupid problems, adults were having the same problems then as they're having now. How are we going to feed the kids? How are we going to do this? Have to go to work, have to do that. We need to buy this, we need to fix that, it's broken.
Yeah.
All those things still existed.
It was just 1970 versus 2018, 2020, whatever.
But to a 10-year-old, you're shielded away from that.
Yeah.
Okay? And in my view, when I didn't have to adult, okay, when I was 10 years old, I can sit here and go, life was so simple. We went outside and played. We didn't game. We did this. We didn't do that. We didn't. Right. Okay? We had party lines. We had to share a phone line with 3 other families. Okay? We didn't have this. Okay? You had to write a letter and put a stamp on it and stick it in the mailbox. Okay? Not.
Was the flag up when the mail was in there, or was the flag down when
the flag was up
when the mail was in?
Letting the guy or the lady know, it was probably a guy at that time, that there's something in there that they need to pick up.
Yeah, nobody ever does that anymore.
I know. Okay, so I mean, times were so different. So, and you start thinking, where did stuff start to change along the way? Okay. Was it in high school? Was it between high school and here? Was it when I got married? Was it when I had kids? And now all of a sudden I have the same responsibilities as my parents did.
Yeah.
Okay. Where was it, that things started to go from pure imagination to
reality?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And I think going back and looking at this, for a lot of us, just may say, it may spur somebody to say, you know what, when we're all able to do it, it may spur somebody to say, you know what, I've always wanted to do this, I'm going to do it by golly. Okay, versus regretting that they never got the opportunity to do it, or they never took the time, or whatever, to do it. Go back and look at this and, watch it a couple of times and see where you had this pure imagination versus reality check.
But you can also...
And go back and take the time to do some of these things.
But also think about it, the same pure imagination back in the 70s, it's the same pure imagination that we have today.
Well, it is.
That type of pure imagination that Gene Wilder was talking about is never ending. That's timeless.
That's never ending.
It's timeless.
But I'm looking at the difference of something as simple as that 1971 Alice in Wonderland backdrop. Okay, versus the imagination of Star Wars, or with all the effects and stuff going on. You can have kaleidoscopes, you can have Sorry. You can have, I mean, you know, the kind of, what would you call it, cinematronics or whatever, you know, in regard to spinny things and shiny things and exploding things and whatnot. You can have this, which were simply props.
Well, I mean, and think about it this way.
But you had to use your imagination.
Right. With the original Star Wars, that was in the late 70s, so that was only a few years after this.
And if you compare the stuff from now, from then till now, you're going,
right.
How did we even sit through that? Okay. But I'm not talking about advanced technology. And, I mean, people, yes, they're using their imagination to see
I
things.
get your point.
I mean, I get that.
I get your point.
But looking at, you know, a candy-striped mushroom, okay, you know, just go back to when you were a kid. I mean, when you really were a kid. I mean, I know you're 18 now, but talk about when you were 6, 7,
Cowboys and Indians.
and how you used your imagination in regard to doing things.
Cowboys and Indians.
And how many times did you guys try to use my golf clubs to hold up blankets and build a fort?
Oh, we did.
I know you did.
I was in a spaceship. I was in the Odyssey.
That was pure imagination. Okay, that you were doing, and I think this can serve as a check to a lot of us who maybe didn't use our imagination as much as we should have, you know, to actually take a breath with all the junk that's going on.
Yeah.
To take a breath and just go, I'm going to do this, or I'm going to do that, or I'm going to go here, or I'm going to go there, or whatever it is. Okay? And just, or when you're playing with a little kid. Okay, sitting there on the floor playing with a little kid, whether it's, you know, your neighbors, whether it's a neighbor, whether it's maybe you're a grandparent or whatever. And,
my imagination was always too violent.
And
Nobody wanted to do that with me.
Use your imagination.
Yeah.
As to what are they seeing, what are they thinking about. You know, I think we need to try to go back, or take some time anyway, to go back to a simpler time, just maybe to refresh, you know, before going out and facing the world again. So. Anyway, okay, you got my 5 cents worth. I doubled my 2 cents that I normally throw in. So.
Oh goodness.
You ready?
Yeah. On to the announcements.
Yep.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all...
Alrighty guys, remember we do have our P.O. Box. If you'd like to send us anything, that information should have popped up on your screen by now and will always be down in the description below. We do have our request form down in the description below as well, guys. That is where we highly ask for y'all to put your requests. And if you want us to take a serious look at them, and it's not Russian roulette or anything like that in the comment section, whether we see it or whether we don't or whatever, put it in a request form. Thank you. Make sure you check out the Teespring link down in the description below as well, where you can get any of our merchandise, such as our Eat, Sleep, React, Repeat merchandise, our classic TBP logo. As you can tell by my phone case, it's just our profile picture, but some people ask for that, so I made merchandise from it. We've got our Defying the Odds Since 2020 merchandise and a couple other cool things on there, guys, that we greatly, or that we highly recommend for y'all to get. Super cool. So make sure to check that out down in the description below. We do have our Patreon link down in the description below as well, guys. I'm not going to quite go into what Patreon is quite in this video, but if you'd like more information on what it is, email me, put it in a comment, message me on social media, whatever, and I'll be sure to help plug you into that. But I do get to thank the following members who have pledged to make this video possible, for being awesome and sticking with us. They'd be Hot Space and Petro, Karen Barone, Stanley Thomas, Cindy Rice, Dawn Kula, Theresa Anderson, and Dary S. Thank you so much for y'all constant love and support of this channel and community, guys. We greatly appreciate it, and we ask that you stick around with us for time to come.
Yeah.
And if Patreon is not quite your thing, or you don't feel comfortable making a monthly donation or anything like that, we do have our PayPal donation link down in the description below as well. That's just a one-time thing, or as many times as you want, or whatever have it be. We are not asking for donations, guys, but if you would like to donate and don't want to be signed up for anything, that is where you can do it. And last but not least, guys, we do have our sub goal of 10,000. Thank you all so much for everybody who has subscribed, and all of you who are not yet subscribed. We highly encourage you to do so, not only so that you help us achieve our goal of 10,000, but so that you don't miss when we post a video or we go live on a live stream, which is always really cool.
Right.
Which we do have a live stream tonight, actually.
Yeah.
So make sure you come into our live stream tonight, 6 p.m. Eastern to 8 o'clock Eastern is the times that we've been doing. We have some mini contests in there, or we did last week at least, to where we will give out some Teespring discount codes. So we're trying to help you out with that a little bit. And it's always a fun time. You get to hang out with a bunch of other super awesome fans and us, so make sure you mark it on your calendar.
Cool.
Tonight, 6 p.m. Eastern to 8 p.m. Eastern. Join us on the channel. Make sure if you haven't subscribed yet, please do to turn on that post notification bell so you get notified when we go live. So, yeah.
You know what I think was cool? You know, I'm gonna give our guys a shout out. You know, the ones who have already who come into the live stream, normally on Friday nights and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll tell you, the community, just to let you know, if you haven't ever joined us in a live stream, please do. The community that is there is really, we're talking some really super awesome people from all over the world.
Yeah.
And it was really cool. This is how cool it was, because I love this community. The bass player here was on somebody else's live stream.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
I was on Mace Around the World
couple of nights ago, and what happened, which was really cool, is that I'm expecting this guy to have all these people, in the comments in the live stream,
and it was all us.
And it was all us.
It was just us in the comments on his channel.
There was one guy who was another Adam. Yeah, and he was another YouTuber.
Yeah,
right?
he's another reactor.
He's another reactor.
Yeah.
So it was really, kind of cool seeing the bass player community.
Yeah.
Jumping in
and invading his space. Yeah, that was pretty cool.
I thought that was just pretty cool.
Yeah.
You guys deserve a shout out for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
thank you guys so much.
So anyway, but I'm good.
Okay.
Yep.
Alrighty, guys. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to smack that like button. Subscribe if you're new. And we'll see you all tomorrow. Peace out.